some of you asked for a video helping you remember how to divide when we're talking about dividing by double digits instead of single digits. And the process is the same as when we divide by single digits. We're going to take each value at a time and see how many groups we can make, but instead of making groups less than 10, we're going to be making groups bigger than 10. So my tip to you is I actually take time and I write out the multiplication table. So 21 times 1 is 21, 21 times 2 is 42, 21 times 3 is 63, 84, 105. And I'll stop there for now to see if that's all I really need. So now I go back to my division and I go, okay, 7, can I make any groups of 21? No, I can't. So I have the choice. I can either leave it blank above and continue on to 72, or if I really want that help so I don't get confused, I can make 0 groups, 21, which is 0, 7 take away 0 is still 7, and I can bring down the 2. Either is mathematically acceptable, although we rarely start whole numbers with 0. Okay, so now I'm doing 72. So now I'm going to look over here to my cheat sheet of multiplications, and I can see that I can make 63, which is close to 72, which is not going over, so I'll write 63 here. And I know that's times 1, 2, 3. So that was 3 groups of 21, make 63. And I do the subtraction. 2 take away 3, we know we can't do, so we borrow. That becomes 6. This becomes 12. 12 take away 3 is 9. So now we're done that one. So now we bring down the 4. And now we have 94 things. So again, I can go back over to my cheat sheet here again. You can see I can't go to 105 because that's bigger than 94. So the biggest I can go is 84, which is times 1, 2, 3, 4. That was 4 groups of 21. Creates 84. I do the subtraction. That leaves me with 10. Finally, I can bring down the 5 to make it 105, which look at how nice and neat that is. That's our final number here on the cheat sheet that I created. 105, we subtract it, we end up with 0, and we have to remember that we have to make sure we tell people how much we divided by. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now we're going to look at a division question that is a double digits division that will have a remainder, or does it divide out to a nice and even answer. So again, I do my cheat sheet of doing my multiplication. So 17 times 1 is 17, 17 times 2 is 34, 7 times 3 is 51, 7 times 4 is 68, 7 times 5 is 85. And I always go into the third digits because you never know if you're going to need it. And the last one is 102. Okay, so now we go to a division. We should know that if we have 7 things, we can't make groups of 17, so we can either leave it blank, which I will for this example, or we can write a 0 here and bring it down like we did for the previous one. This time I'm just going to go over to 76. And look over here, the closest I can get to 76 without going over is 68. So I'm going to record that over here. And I know that 17 times 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and do my subtractions. 6 take away 8, I know I can't do, so I know I need to borrow. 16 take away 8 is 8. Okay, and a good way to check is you make sure that your remainder from your subtraction is smaller than your divisor. If it's not smaller, then you have divided by the wrong number. Okay, so now I'm going to bring down that 8, and so now I'm trying to make 88 things into groups of 17. So here I go. The closest I can get is to 85, and that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 17. So I subtract them, and now I'm left with 3 things. I'll bring down the 5. So now I have 35 things that I want to make groups of 17. So the closest I can get here is pretty close, which is 34, which is 17 times 1, 2. Put the 2 on the top. Do the subtraction, and I'm left with 1. At this point, you have 2 choices. We are talking about whole numbers, so we can just write remainder 1. Or if we wanted to, we could add a decimal and add a 0 here at the end, and bring down that 0 to see if we could divide it out so it gets to the point where there is no remainders. Either is acceptable unless specified differently by your teacher or by your boss if you're working in an industry where they're making you divide. So we know that we can't make any groups of 17 out of 10, so we're actually going to have to add a second 0. I'm going to bring that down, and now I'm at 100. Closest I can get here is 85, which is 5. Oh, running to my remainder here, which is 85. I subtract them, it leaves me with 15. And I can keep going and going. Once we go into decimals, usually people specify how sensitive or accurate of an example they're looking for here. So this is to 2 decimal places.